Good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, we will be discussing the traffic signal lights. So, traffic signal lights is very essential since this will be one of the traffic control devices that would somehow get the attention of the road users in order for them to follow the traffic rules and regulations, most especially in the intersecting roads or the intersections, because in the intersection is one of the busiest part of the roadways in which motor vehicles really crisscrossing to one another. Now, let us proceed with the next slide. So, before anything else, let us have this quote muna. In this room, we don't do easy. We make easy happen through hard work and learning. So, of course naman, we don't do easy things because we make easy happen through hard work and learning. So just because of the hard work rather and the learnings that we actually experiencing, we actually do every day. So it seems like every work and every job is actually becomes easy. So now let's proceed with our proper discussion. So this refers to any power-operated traffic control device which traffic is warned or directed to take some specific action. So basically, it talks about the traffic lights, wherein these are used to control traffic at junctions and also to stop traffic to provide safe crossing points for pedestrian and cyclists. So we know for a fact that traffic lights really compose of different colors and or the light color of the lights in which it indicates as to when a particular lane of a certain motor vehicle would stop and would go and would somehow take a caution or take a cautious slow movement before proceeding or while proceeding on the intersection and or along the highway. So power operated traffic control device, since it is electronically operated and electronically function, which actually mounted along the highway, and of course that directs the movement of the traffic users and or the drivers for that matter along the roadway. So let us discuss the color of the traffic lights. Okay, we have the red steady, we have the red arrow, we have the ember and or the yellow, and of course we have the steady green and arrow green. So let us discuss it one by one as to its functions. We have the red, we have the yellow or ember, and the green one. So the red arrow, it indicates that this particular lane of a motor vehicle who is when the red arrow is being lit up and it is a time for this particular lane to stop, okay, as to where they are going about to go. And on the red steady, of course, you are going to stop either of the direction you are going, or the left, the right, or uh, ahead, is that you are going to stop for the meantime since it is red steady. And yellow or ember, it both indicates that they should proceed slowly or proceed with caution. The green arrow, it indicates that this particular lane of a motor vehicle who is about to that direction, they should proceed. And of course, same with the uh, green steady or steady green, that indicates go for those who are in favor with the line kung asa dapit sila nga moadto. Okay? So historical background of the colors of a traffic light. So first, the colors had to be recognized, okay? The colors had to be recognizable easily, quickly, and unmistakably. So this has to be possible from the considerable distance and while in motion. The quality, intensity, and contrast of the colors had to be such that these serve their purpose in all whatever in all what during the day and or the night. So the colors had to be recognizable easily, quickly, and unmistakably. So historically speaking, that before the color of the traffic lights is go is color white. So later on, it has been modified and it became green just because the color white will not be determined during the daytime just because of its color is off. What I mean with off is that it cannot be recognizable if the color white for go is actually lit up. Okay. So and of course recognizable easily, meaning to say just because of the colors that it address to the sense or actually take the attention of the road users, and that is for them to go or to stop and or to proceed with caution. So this had to be possible from the considerable distance and while in motion. So meaning to say, ibig sabihin, it must be possible in the considerable distance, either be 50 feet or 25 meters or 50 meters, di ba? So from a distance, it could be determined or recognizable that the color green is already lit up and that is the time for you to go, or the color red is being lit up and that is the time for you to stop. Yeah. So in a considerable distance, meaning so as far as the motorcycle is concerned, the colors of a traffic light actually address to their sense as to when they're going to stop and when going they're going to go. And the third one is the quality, intensity, and contrast of the colors had to be such that they serve their purpose in all, either be during daytime and nighttime. So the quality and the intensity, meaning to say, the contrast of the colors actually take the attention of the motorist and or the road users, so that it would not be disregarded by the motorist if the contrast or the quality and intensity of the colors of the traffic lights is not that good enough in order to be uh, observed and or be noticed by those motorists and or the road users. So now let's proceed. Okay. So we have the following definition: red for stop. Okay. So red for stop meaning always represented danger. So why they choose the color red? Just because red is represented with danger. So that is why whenever a motorist and or the road users would see the traffic light is on red and that is the time for them to stop, because whenever they will not stop, this will lead them into danger. Okay. Second one, so why danger? Because it represent, like for example, fire was red when it is burned, and blood was red when the death is imminent. So that is represent with red is for stop. And no wonder that, therefore, associated with emergency and danger. Okay, red. So meaning to say, emergency or danger, this actually take the attention or will be easily noticed by the motorist and or the road users. And we also have green for go. Okay. So green is a natural color. So when we see a natural color, it actually glowing up. It represented with a life and hope. And that is the time for you to go and to proceed. Okay. It was the hue of all foliage and growing things. Yes, anything that you could see in our surroundings, most especially in our environments, you could see the green things, diba? Such as grasses, such as rubbish, diba? Such as the trees and all things surround us. When it matters with environment, it actually represented in the general color of green. Environmentally, life, safety, and normality. So that represent color green. Symbolic of motion, drive, and vitality. So, meaning to say ng green, so motion. Diba? So, to proceed, lively, with life, okay? And of course, functioning and or efficient. So, that is what we mean for green is for go. So, this indicates that whenever the motorcyclists and or the road users, when they see that the traffic light is on color green, that is the time for them to proceed such. Next, we have specific meaning of traffic lights. So we will be discussing as to the specific meaning of the traffic lights. Okay, so that we would know also why these colors of the traffic lights are the color of the lights being used by the concerned agency. Okay, so we have steady red. Ano tong steady red? Okay, stop at the designated line. So whenever the traffic light is red, meaning to say steady, hindi yung pa blink blink, okay? You are going to stop at your designated line. As much as possible, you should not stop on the pedestrian line or pedestrian white painted crosswalk because it's a no or a big no for you to stop on the pedestrian lane. Okay? Pangalawa, vehicles will be crossing from the other side, meaning to say you should stop just because the vehicles from the other side will be crossing. Otherwise, if you fail to stop, you might hit another vehicle or you will be hit by the other vehicle from the other side. And the third is expect pedestrians to cross at the pedestrian lane. Meaning to say, that is why I said a while back that you should not stop on the pedestrian lane because you are going to expect that the steady red indicates that it is the time for the pedestrian to cross along the pedestrian lane. Fourth, unless specified, you can turn right after a full stop to clear traffic coming from the left. Meaning to say, if you are intended to turn right and the red light of the traffic light is on, you can initiate a full stop and you are going to what? Do a right turn whenever you are about to go to the right side. Next, we have the steady green. So, anong ibig sabihin ng steady green? Okay, we have the following. Ibig sabihin ng steady green, hindi yung pa-blink-blink, that is, pa-blink-blink or yung kining time frame type of traffic light, iba yun. Okay? So, steady green, that indicates go. Meaning to say, whenever the traffic light is on green, that is the time for you to proceed. Of course, with caution. The second one is, it is the turn of the vehicles on the other side to stop. Meaning to say, whenever the steady green is being lit up on your lane, it indicates that the other lane from the other side of a roadway is initiated the stop. Okay, that is the time for you to proceed with caution. Next is pedestrians are not allowed to cross the pedestrian lane in front of you. Meaning to say, whenever the steady green is lit up, okay, whenever the steady green is lit up, that is the time that the pedestrian should not or not allowed to cross along the pedestrian lane in front of a motor vehicle or in front of you proceeding with motion, because otherwise you might hit or the pedestrian might hit with a motor vehicle you are using with. And next is, unless specified, you can move up to the middle section of the intersection and make a left turn when clear. So, meaning to say, if it is specified, meaning ng specified, if the green arrow is actually pointing to the side of the roadway where you are about to move, that is the time for you to move with caution in the center or in the intersection and going towards your lane where you are about to turn into. Next is vehicles going straight have the right of way. Meaning to say, for those vehicles going straight have the right of way, that is the time that when the green or the steady green of the traffic light is lit on. Okay, so that indicates that those vehicles going straight have the right of way. Just because it indicates that the roadway is throughway. Ibig sabihin ng throughway, pag throughway yung lane mo on your side, you have the right of way to proceed first. Other than those motor vehicle, just only traversing on the intersecting road on the throughway or within the intersection. Okay. Next is do not anticipate a green light. Okay, pag sinabing do not anticipate a green light, whenever it is still on red, okay, and then you are anticipating and you have this notion that might be anytime now mag-green na siya and you proceeded actually. So you should not anticipate. Otherwise, wala pa siya, hindi pa nag-red yung traffic light, hindi pa nag-green yung traffic light, you proceeded on the red light, you might be hit with the other vehicle from the other side of the roadway. So you should not practice that. Okay, next we have the steady green arrow. So ano tong steady green arrow? Ano nga ba ang kaibahan ng steady green arrow? Okay. Yung kanina meron tayong steady plain green lang. Ngayon naman ay meron tayong steady green arrow. Ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng steady green arrow? Magkapareho lang to actually. So steady green arrow, it means go. Okay? So the same with the steady green. And of course, the second is vehicles turning left can do so. Meaning to say, if the steady green arrow is actually pointing out to the left side, and whenever it is unlit, or the steady green arrow is actually on, that is the time that those motor vehicle who are about to turn to left, that is the time for them to proceed. Third, oncoming straight traffic still red to give way for the vehicles turning left. So meaning to say, kapag nagkatabi yung steady red at saka steady green arrow, yung steady red is naka-light pa yon. Yung steady green arrow, pag naka-light na yon, those motor vehicles were about to turn to the left side, that is the time for them to proceed. But those motor vehicles about to were actually going to the direction of the straight traffic, they should not proceed, they should stop because steady red the steady red light is actually on. So meaning to say, whenever nga mag-green na siya, that is the time for those vehicles on the coming street traffic is tsaka mo lamang sila mag-proceed. Okay? The fourth one is do not anticipate a green light. Pag sinabi natin do not anticipate a green light, again, do not think that the green light is about to on while it is still on red. Why? Just because, as I've said a while back, that whenever you will proceed, when the light is still on red, you might be hit with another vehicle coming from the other side of the roadway. Now, let's proceed. Steady yellow. Ano nga ba tong steady yellow? Kailan ba magpo-proceed yung tao o yung motorist, o kailan ba mag-i-initiate ng slowly or slow movement yung motorist? Okay. Ibig sabihin pala ng steady yellow is prepare to stop. Ibig nang sabihin ng prepare to stop, ibig sabihin while you are in motion or on motion, and then the green light is off and the steady yellow is on, that is the time for you to prepare to stop, just because it is about to it is because the red light is about to lit up or about to turn on. So meaning either you can prepare to stop or to proceed with caution. Kasi ang nangyayari sa ating kalsada, kapag merong steady yellow, what the motorist did is that talagang nag-aano sila, 'di ba? Nagditditan o pinapalakas nila yung takbo nila para mahabol pa nila yung steady yellow, tsaka yung nag-red, nakalagpas na sila. Yun kasing usual na nangyari sa atin eh, 'di ba? Na kung saan pala ibig sabihin ng steady yellow, you should prepare to stop whenever the traffic light is from the green light. So pag from the green light, pag na-turn off na yung green light, tsaka nag-steady yellow na, ibig sabihin you should prepare to stop because 3 seconds from the steady yellow, that is the time that the red traffic light will be turned on, and that is the time for you to stop. Next is, it is the turn of the vehicles on the other side and will be given the go signal shortly. So meaning to say, whenever the steady yellow is on, it simply means that those motor vehicles coming from the opposite road on the intersection, that is the time that those motor vehicles are going to proceed or will be given with a go in a short signal. Next, do not beat a yellow light. So why you are not allowed to beat a yellow light? Just because a yellow light just have a short span of time only. So meaning 3 seconds lang yon. Right after the 3 seconds, automatic magre-red yun. So kung anong mangyayari pag i-beat mo yung steady yellow light, so you might be hit with a motor vehicle from the other side of the roadway whenever nga nag-initiate na o go signal ang other roadway. Because right after na nga magwala ng steady yellow on your lane, automatic magpula. Pag nag-automatic nagpula na yon, mag-automatic green na yon ang sa other side of the roadway. So anong mangyayari? kapag nagpupurso ka and you will be hit with the other motor vehicle coming from the other side of the roadway. Next, we have the flashing red. Anong naman ang kaibahan ng flashing red na ito? Okay. So, the flashing red, this is the same as a stop sign. Okay. Ibig sabihin ng stop sign, okay, you should stop really whenever the red light is actually flashing. Okay. Like for example, pag sinabi nating flashing, it simply means that you should not proceed. Okay. Why? Because it is still on the red light. Okay. Stop at the designated line. So, where you are going to stop on the designated line? Before the pedestrian lane. Yung tinatawag natin na stop line. Okay, merong guhit doon na talagang white line before the pedestrian lane, you should stop over there. You should not stop on the pedestrian line. Okay, or pedestrian lane. Next, vehicles will be crossing from the other side kapag flashing red. Kasi ang konsepto ng flashing red is the same with the red arrow and the same with the steady red. Okay. So expect pedestrians to cross at the pedestrians lane and proceed when clear. Okay. So when it is clear, the both sides of the roadway and no pedestrian that actually cruising on the pedestrian lane, you can actually proceed when it is clear. Next, we have the flashing yellow. Okay. Anong ibig ng sabihin ng flashing yellow? The flashing yellow, it is the same as a yield sign. Ibig sabihin ng yield sign, you should stop and give way to the motor vehicles on the other side of the roadway. So that is the meaning of the flashing yellow. Proceed through the intersection with caution. Ibig sabihin ng flashing yellow, proceed through the intersection with caution. So you can proceed. Yung steady yellow kanina, you should initiate the stop. Okay, while the flashing yellow, you can proceed through the intersection with caution. Meaning to say, you have still time to proceed when it is still in flashing yellow. Next, you have the right of way over a flashing red light. So, ibig sabihin, whenever merong flashing red light, okay, nagfa-flash or flashing red light yung kabilang roadway on the intersection, they don't have the right to proceed because on your side or on your lane, it is a flashing yellow. Pag sinabing flashing yellow, andito ka sa lane ng flashing yellow, you have the right to be given away and to proceed accordingly with caution over the flashing red on the other side. Okay? Vehicles on the other side will proceed after coming to a full stop. So, ibig sabihin, on the other side, na yung mga motor vehicles na naka-flashing red pa, they can proceed right after coming a full stop. So, meaning to say, they initiate a full stop and they can proceed whenever the roadway or the opposite roadways on the intersection is clear from any traffic. Okay. Next, we have the steady green and steady left or right arrow. So, anong ibig sabihin ng steady green and steady left or right arrow? So, I've already discussed this a while back, but let us still tackle this one. Vehicles can go straight or vehicles on the left lane can make a left turn. So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-light yung steady green, yung motor vehicles on this particular lane can proceed straightly. Pag nag-light naman yung steady left arrow or steady left right, that is the time that those motor vehicle about to turn to the left, they can proceed. And for those motor vehicles about to turn to the right, they can proceed. But it doesn't mean that the steady green o steady left o right arrow nagdungan na sila og sigan. No. Whenever nga steady green, that is the time that those motor vehicles about to proceed ahead or straight, they can go straight. Pag steady left arrow naman nag-light, they can actually proceed to the left side for those motor vehicles about to turn to the left side. If the right arrow or the steady right arrow is on, and that is the time if those motor vehicles is about to turn to right, they can proceed actually. Okay. So vehicles can go straight or vehicles on the right lane can make a right turn. Yes. The right green signal might or might not have a road signal, disallowing a right turn while the light is on. So meaning to say, might or may not have a road signal. Kapag walang road signal na nagdi-disallow, that is the time that they can still proceed. Di ba? So they can still proceed. Next, we have problems concerning traffic lights. Okay. First, the following are the problems concerning to traffic lights. First, failure to respect the traffic laws and regulations. Yes, in the absence of traffic enforcers. We cannot deny the fact that even until nowadays, di ba? If in the absence or there are no traffic enforcers managing and or manning the traffic way, even though the traffic light or the red traffic light is on, still the motorists and or the drivers will proceed. Di ba? So parang discretion ng mga motorists and or the drivers na magpo-proceed lang sila talaga kapag wala namang traffic enforcer. Kapag meron, so they will not proceed. So that is one of the problem. Parang dinidisregard nilang traffic lights or disregarding traffic lights. Pangalawa, when a traffic light suddenly becomes inoperative, very seldom do order and a sense of discipline prevail. Ibig sabihin, yes, there is a traffic lights. But the traffic lights actually not functioning, di ba? Or becomes inoperative. Hindi na gumagana. So, very seldom lang talagsaon o kukunti lang makikita natin na yung sense of discipline ay talagang nangyayari. Okay. So, paano nga yun? Meron ngang traffic light, nagfa-function nga. Dinidisregard naman ng mga drivers kasi walang traffic enforcers. How much more kung hindi na naging operative yung traffic lights or inoperative na yung traffic lights? Does the discipline still prevail? No. They can't still prevail. Okay? So, para bang, okay, wala naman, hindi naman nag-ooperate yung traffic light eh. Diba? Sira naman yung traffic light. Let us proceed, we will not observe. Diba? So, tayo-tayo na lang dito eh. Diba? So, yun yung problema na kinaharap talaga ngayon pertaining to these rules and regulations to traffic rules and regulations. Third, even pedestrians are guilty of disobeying traffic lights by crossing on don't walk signs. This usually holds traffic, di ba? So, meron talagang mga part of the roadway na kung saan may nakalagay na sign or signage or traffic sign na don't walk, di ba? Don't walk sign na kung saan doon pa talaga dadaan yung mga pedestrian. They are not following the simple traffic rules and regulations. They are actually disobeying, di ba? The traffic, they are actually disobeying the traffic lights, disregarding the essence of the traffic lights. Okay? This usually holds the traffic. Just because a lot of pedestrian crossing on the don't walk area, this actually stop the movement of the motor vehicle or somewhat like they might be hit with the motor vehicle, di ba? Fourth, many times presence of traffic law enforcers does not deter pedestrian from crossing or from disregarding traffic laws, rules, and regulations. Yes, even in the presence of the traffic enforcers, still the pedestrians are not following the traffic laws, rules, and regulations. As much as they could cross the roadway, they can do that. Regardless in the presence of the traffic lights or in the presence of the traffic enforcer, they will disregard. And they are actually initiating to cross on the areas not intended for pedestrian to cross. Okay, let's proceed with the next slide. Now we are here in the classification of traffic signal lights. Okay. First, traffic control signal. So, pag sinabi nating traffic control signal, this talks about anything that actually address to the movement and or prohibits the movement or directs the movement of the motorists and or the drivers or the road users for that matter, it called traffic control signal. These are signal lights designed primarily to control and regulate traffic flows. So, traffic control signal. Next, special pedestrian signals. Ano tong special pedestrian signals? These signal lights provides regulation for pedestrians like the walk and do not walk signal lights. So, meron tayong signal traffic lights or special pedestrian signals na kung saan, so if you happen to visit or even roam around in the area of Divisoria, you could see really the special pedestrian signals that you can only proceed whenever the traffic light is the red traffic light is on and the pedestrian light is on for green, and that is the time for you to go, diba? So walk and do not walk. Okay. Next, we have the train approach and gate signals. These are usually installed on road rail intersections designed to inform motorists of any approaching train on the intersection. So, ang makikita nyo sa train approach and gate signals, yung train kasi release ng train, may part na yun na kung saan pwede makaagi ang motorcycle and or the four-wheel motor vehicles whenever the rail of the train is free from traffic of a train. So this will actually disallow the motorists and or the drivers of a motorcycle and or the four-wheel motor vehicle to cross if ever naka-close yung gate signals at saka naka-light yung naka-red light yung lights ng gate signal. Next is other special traffic signals. These are installed on traffic ways where special regulations are emphasized, like yield to vehicles coming from the left and similar regulations. So yield to vehicles coming from the left, meaning to say you should give away if ever you are traversing on this particular roadway from the right side, whenever you could see the yield sign wherein says that yield to vehicles coming from the left, that is the time for you to initiate the full stop because there might be motor vehicles traversing on the left side of the roadway. So if there's none, that is the time for you to proceed or initiate to go, yeah, to cross along the roadway. Next, we have the traffic signal system. Ano nga ba tong traffic signal system? Meron tayong mga tatlo ata dito. So we have the traffic lights use different signaling systems which vary according to the needs of the traffic way. So meaning to say, nakakabase lamang ito sa kung ano talang kinakailangan ng isang daan or with the current condition or situation of a traffic way in which it pertains to what type of a traffic signal system should be put there. Okay? First, we have the fixed time system. So pag sinabi natin fixed time system, meron siyang predetermined time schedule. Okay. If you happen to notice that there are really traffic lights that is represented with numbers from 90 down to 0. If ever nga mag-red signal siya. Dahil yung green naman, meron siyang time din. Okay. Traffic is alternately commanded to stop and permitted to proceed in accordance with predetermined time schedule. So, anong nangyayari dito sa fixed time system? Meron tayong merong oras dito, okay? Merong oras dito na makikita as to when should a motorist to proceed and when should they stop. Okay? Progressive system. These are used in major arteries of a number of cities. Signals at successive intersections along the artery are timed to change from red to green at staggered intervals, permitting a vehicle that maintains a constant speed to proceed without interventions under normal circumstances. Itong progressive system usually mounted in the staggered area. Sir, ano yung staggered area? Pag sinabi kasi nating staggered area, like for example in Divisoria, di ba? Pag sinabing staggered area, the roadway which contains of 2 or more intersections. Pag sinabing 2 or more intersection, dito na side merong intersecting road. Sa kabila naman, on ahead, merong intersecting road, tsaka intersecting road. Let us assume na merong 3 sets of intersecting roads. In these intersecting roads, okay, progressive system yung ginamit sa tatlong sets ng intersecting roads. On the first set of the intersecting roads with the progressive system type of traffic lights, dito is naka-red ang traffic light. Sa pangalawa, naka-green. Okay, sa pangatlo, pwedeng maka-red. Nakadepende yon. So, meaning to say, those motor vehicles in this side should stop. And those motor vehicles coming from this side who are in favor in this lane, nga pwede na sila nga mugo sila. And those lane nga nakastop doon, stop sila. And then mag-a-alternate silang tatlo. Kapag dito nakastop kanina, dito naka-green, pwedeng naka-green na dito, nakastop yung gitna, yung pangatlo naka-green na naman. Yung pangatlo pwedeng nakapula, naka-green naman dito, okay? At saka dito nakapula na naman yung traffic lights niya. Yun yung tinatawag nating progressive system. Okay? Pag give and take lang sila with the time predetermined time actually na kung saan mag-i-exchange lang sila kung kailan tong traffic lights na to magre-red o tsaka mag-green. So yun yung progressive system. Usually mounted on the staggered intersections. Pag sinabi nating staggered intersection, ito yung area na kung saan yung kalsada ay consists of two or more types or sets of intersections. Okay. Pangalawa, computerized control of signal networks. So ano tong computerized control of signal networks? Tong computerized control of signal networks, meron itong detector. Okay? Merong detector na nakalagay, okay, sa ilalim ng kalsada na kung saan just because of the vibration. When we say vibration, it means that the motor vehicles is traversing overhead or over the roadway. And that is the time that that particular detector will actually receive the vibration message coming the roadway because of the motor vehicle, and it will transmit the message to the computer or to the device where the post of the traffic lights is being mounted. Okay, and whenever this particular vibration is being intercepted and read by this computer na talagang parang marami ng sasakyan yung dumadaan, and that is the time that they are going to initiate the red light. And if ever madalang na naman yung daloy ng mga sasakyan, that is the time they will initiate the on the other side, that is the time for them to initiate the green light on this particular side na wherein nag-red light kanina. Okay, so ano nga ba tong computerized control of signal networks? Signal changes are ordered by the demands of traffic and are directed by computers that operate on the basis of traffic information relayed from vehicle sensors on the street. So meron tayong sensors, yung sinabi ko kanina, magva-vibrate yung kapag may vibration, sinisensor yon ng isang device, and this particular vibration will be delivered or the message will be sent to the computer, and the computer will read how many vehicles are actually traversing in this particular roadway or intersection. And if heavy na kayo ang traffic, that is the time that the computer will initiate the red light to stop. Okay. So in this system, traffic detectors are placed at several locations, generally in the pavement. So pag sinabing in the pavement, talagang andoon sa kalsada or under sa kalsada, just because to detect the vibrations, okay, with the detectors. Next, a computer continuously scans the traffic information from each detector. Kapag mag-scan, kinukulit ng computer na yan. Kapag ma-determine ng computer na talagang heavy na tong traffic in this side, this is the time na mag-initiate siya ng red light. If not heavy, that is the time that i-initiate siya ng go. Okay. So the computer then selects the best timing for each signal to reduce traffic congestion and minimize delays. Diba? So yun yun. Ang computer na magde-decide if when the computer will initiate a green light and will initiate a red light. So this is for the computerized control of signal networks. Okay, thank you for listening, everyone. God bless you all. Hopefully that you've learned a lot this discussion. Thank you.